I saw her by accident. Not right away. Not like in the movies, without sudden movement, without screaming inside the head. It's just that something didn't match. It was late. Sometime after the first night. I was sitting in the living room. The lights were off. Only the TV was working, quietly, almost without sound. He threw a pale bluish light on the wall opposite the sofa. An ordinary night. Ordinary fatigue. I blinked, and for a moment it seemed to me that the shadow from the cabinet, the one that fell on the corner of the wall, had become a little longer. I didn't care. The eyes are tired, the screen glows, the brain draws the excess. It happens. I looked at the TV again. Blinked. The shadow was already closer to the floor. I was tense. Not fear, not yet. Rather, curiosity. I leaned forward, took a closer look. The cabinet stood there. The light source has not changed. The TV didn't move. The shadow had to be unchanged. I held my gaze. I tried not to blink. A second. 2. 3. The shadow did not move. I blinked, quickly, almost unconsciously. She has changed again. This time I was sure. She became different. Not just longer. Her edge was uneven. It was as if someone had touched it with their fingers. I felt a chill in my chest. The same one that appears before the bad news. Before a call you don't want to take. No, I whispered, not even knowing to whom. I got up and came closer. The light of the TV trembled. The shadow is not. I blinked. She moved forward. Not abruptly. Not a jerk. It's like someone took a small step. I jumped back, hitting my back on the sofa. The heart began to beat louder than the TV. It's impossible. I watched again. I tried to keep my eyes open. They started baking. Tears gathered in the corners. The shadow was waiting. I didn't feel it with my eyes, but with my skin. She didn't move while I was watching. I blinked. She was already on the floor. I turned off the TV. The room was plunged into darkness. Full. Deaf. I stood there with bated breath. My heart was pounding in my throat. Okay. I muttered. Just light. Just an illusion. I turned on the lamp. The light flooded the room with a warm yellow color. Shadows disappeared or became ordinary, obedient to the laws of physics. I exhaled. And then I noticed her. Under the table. Shadow. Not from the table. Not from the chair. She was lying apart. Wrong. As if she was thrown there and forgotten. I didn't blink. I was afraid. She was motionless. I'm not sleeping, I said out loud. I'm not sleeping. My eyes started to hurt. The light cut the eyesight. I could feel my eyelids shaking. Don't blink. Don't blink. Don't blink. I took a step back. The shadow did not move. Another step. She was waiting. I blinked. She became longer. I grabbed the phone. My hands were shaking so much that I almost dropped it. Turned on the camera, pointing to the shadow. Okay. If you're here, you should be on camera. I stared at the screen of the phone, not taking my eyes off the shadow at the same time, with peripheral vision. Blinked. There is nothing on the screen. I slowly shifted my gaze from the phone to the floor. The shadow was closer. No. I felt something squeeze my throat. Not with hands, but with awareness. It only moves when I'm not looking. Only when I blink. She takes advantage of the moment when I'm not there. I remembered how I was afraid to close my eyes in the dark as a child. It seemed like the room was changing while I wasn't looking. That something comes closer. I thought it was in my childhood. I was wrong. I tried the trick. I put the phone on the record. Turned on the video. I put it so that the camera looked at the shadow. He retreated to the corner himself, but did not blink. If you move. I whispered, the camera will see it. My eyes were burning. Tears flowed down my cheeks. I hardly saw it. I blinked. The shadow became twice as close. I grabbed the phone, turned the video. The recording was perfect. No movement. No changes. No shadow. As if it never existed. I laughed. Briefly. Hysterical. You don't even write. The shadow did not answer. She was waiting. The clock in the room was ticking. Every sound was a nerve strike. I counted the seconds between blinks. 5, 7, 10. The eyes refused to obey. The eyelids were heavy, as if weights had been put on them. I blinked. She was already in the middle of the room. Now I saw the form. Not clear, but enough. She looked like a human, but distorted. 2 long arms. The head is tilted at an unnatural angle. It was not a shadow of the object. It was a shadow of what was not here. "What do you want?" I whispered. She didn't move. I blinked. She leaned forward. I retreated until I leaned against the wall. My eyes hurt so much that I almost screamed with tension. I tried to keep them open with my hands, pressing my eyelids with my fingers. Tears flowed uncontrollably. "I won't blink." I whispered. "Do you hear me?" I won't blink. The brain began to betray. The world floated around. The contours of the shadow forked. I blinked. She was already nearby. I felt cold. Not from the air, from the lack of heat. It's like part of the room is no longer real. The shadow raised her hand. I only saw her out of sight. I was afraid to look straight. What if it doesn't just move when I blink? What if she just lets me think that way? This thought was more terrible than anything else. My eyes betrayed me. I blinked longer than I wanted. Just for a moment. When I opened my eyes, the world was different. The shadow was in front of me. She had no face. But I knew she was watching. She had been waiting for this moment for a long time. My whole life, maybe. She held out her hand. I wanted to scream. I blinked. I woke up in the dark, lying on the bed. My heart was pounding. Breathing is broken. Eyes, dry, painful. A dream. I whispered. It was just a dream. I didn't move. I didn't blink. He slowly turned his head to the wall. And I saw a shadow. She was sitting in the corner of the room. Immovable. Patient. She knew. I'll have to blink. I'm writing this now, looking at the screen. My eyes are burning. I can hardly see anything. She's somewhere nearby. I feel her. If you are reading this, be careful. Because now, you blinked, and she became closer.